Have you ever wondered what is the next step you're supposed to be taking in your home care agency when it comes to growing your client base? If this is something that you're looking for, this is pretty much going to be the video for you and pretty much what I've created. Specifically a roadmap on how to go ahead at each stage of your agency, go ahead and increase your client base. Okay, so in case you don't know me, my name is Elias Benedith, and here at Adfelt, we help home care agencies grow their client bases, right? Now, here, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through. You'll see at the bottom of this video, there'll be a resource that'll tie into this, okay? Where you can go ahead and pretty much get this exact same presentation for yourself, okay? In case you want to go ahead and use it. Now, let's go ahead and quickly, get an overview of the roadmap and pretty much how we'll go from there. In each stage of the roadmap, right, this is pretty much what I've gone ahead and kind of had the 4 stages, right, of a home care agency and pretty much where they'll be at different stages. Now, this is going to be based off my experience when we've gone ahead and helped home care agencies grow their client bases, from 0 to 10 clients all the way, managing up to 500, 1,000, 2,000 clients. Okay. Now, each one is going to have a goal that, an ultimate goal you're looking to go ahead and achieve in order to get to the next stage. And then the different things you can invest in, whether that is time or money, in order to go ahead and get yourself and ultimately reach that goal. Okay, so let's, go ahead and dive into it. Let's start with, 0 to 10 clients. It's going to be especially if you're starting out. The ultimate goal here is to essentially build a stable recurring revenue, and also attain some type of testimonials. Okay, super important that you pretty much, show the marketplace that you are legit, because there are a lot of home care agencies, especially that other, seniors and families have tried that have burned them, right? That have been bad. And so you want to go ahead and be able to prove to them, hey, we are one of the good ones. So things that you can go ahead and invest in time-wise, okay, I would say most people here, if this is going to be their first business, a lot of it is going to be on time, okay? Even if you are working a job, you're going to need to find a way to go ahead and dedicate time. And so that's going to be, you want to be doing a lot of personal effort on, marketing. And so that's going to be specifically networking, going to networking events and doing some type of outreach, okay? Then the next thing would be, of course, attending this community events. That is going to be the networking. And I would say a big key tip here, that I've actually heard when I've spoken to up to more than 200 different agencies up to this point, is a lot of them going to Facebook groups in their local area and connecting with some of these seniors and, essentially, being honest with them, like, hey, look, I am a home care agency that is starting out. Because I'm starting out, the main advantage is that I will give you care like no other home care agency. Okay. Whether you're big or small, you're always going to have an advantage. Okay. And you want to essentially play to that advantage. And so you can go ahead and do that by reaching out to these local Facebook groups. Now, of course, last thing is you want to go ahead and marketing yourself in person. Start building relationships with social workers and discharge planners at these different facilities, doctor's offices, hospitals, all these different places, so that, you could potentially land a referral partner. And then, of course, last thing is if you have some money, whether you're working, okay, or not, or you have some type of savings, or, you still have money left over from a loan, okay, go ahead and you can use services like A Place for Mom, Aging Care, Care.com. These are going to be low, well, I wouldn't say low budget, but they will definitely be a way for you to go ahead and get leads and referrals and potentially convert them. Now, disclaimer here, some of these leads will, they're not going to be the highest quality leads that you'll get, okay, from any of these services. And of course, reason being is, a lot of these leads are going to be shared, meaning other agencies, other competitors are going to be getting them. But what you have here, again, is time. You can go ahead and, call these leads as soon as you get the message, hey, there's a lead, give them a call. You can be on top of that. You can be the one, giving them calls constantly and following up with them. Again, you can get away with this for your first couple clients. Once you go ahead and get to that level where you've gone ahead and build recurring revenue, then I would say kind of lean off of them, because you don't want somebody else to be in charge of your marketing, and essentially you're going to have up and down roller coasters when it comes to how many clients you're getting. You're at some point you're going to want to lean off of them and start doing your own marketing. And so that's, where we're going to go ahead and get to the next stage, which, 10 to 50 client range. Okay. And this is where you want to go ahead and develop a consistent flow of leads and referrals. This is ultimately what's going to be able to get you to the next stage. Okay. Essentially here, you want to be building these referral partnerships, okay? Landing more referral partners. If you already land one here, you want to go ahead and land another one, right? Ultimately, as many as you can, okay? So you want to go ahead and be spending time doing that, because one referral partner could potentially bring you, a couple referrals a week, right? So if you pair that a couple up, you could easily be seeing high quality 20 referrals coming in, right? If you just have, let's say, four referral partners. So definitely a great use of your time, even if you are the owner. Okay, you don't have to necessarily delegate this off to a in-person marketer. If it financially makes sense, then by all means you can go ahead. But if not, you still want to be marketing yourself in person. Doesn't matter if things have gotten a bit more competitive, it's a bit harder to break through in the market. This is where, again, having those testimonials, building these referral partnerships, because at the end of the day, these social workers, these discharge planners, they want to make sure they're sending their patients over to reliable home care agencies, and they don't want them to return back. So of course, you just need to go ahead and prove that. And constant engagement, they're gonna be like, wow, this person, they're staying top of mind. Let me go ahead and send one their way. Let's see how that goes. You keep doing that, at the end of the day, you're gonna be taking up a lot of their referrals. Anyway, next one is going to be engaging in direct outreach, to these social workers and care managers, like we mentioned earlier. And then, of course, start collecting those client testimonials. It's going to build credibility. It's going to be a lot easier to go ahead and break through with these social workers and care managers. This is going to be time-wise, okay, what you want to go ahead and invest. Money-wise, what you can do is start going ahead and doing some type of online marketing. While you're doing the in-person marketing, okay, you can have the online marketing reach areas that you can't normally reach, right? Especially when you're doing the in-person marketing, I would say the main advantage, it's a lot easier to connect in person than it is online. But the main advantage when it comes to doing some type of online marketing is that you can be at multiple places at once, right? When it comes to in person, you can only be at one hospital at one given time. Here, you can reach so many people in such a short amount of time. And so, what I'd say is, if you're looking to go ahead and get leads now, right? If that's a main priority for you, depending on what your payer sources or the payer methods you accept, Medicaid, private pay, long-term care insurance, there's going to be some that benefit others. So for example, Google Ads, if you're doing, let's say, non-medical or even medical or like skilled nursing, and you're kind of doing kind of general, right? In that sense, whether you're doing Medicaid, long-term care, or private pay, Google Ads is definitely going to be I would say, going to bring you the most quality leads, right? Because a lot of these leads are going to be searching for home care, right? Compare this to Facebook, people are just kind of scrolling and then an ad appears, so they don't really know if they need home care or not. They don't know. But the main advantage when it comes to Facebook is when it comes to specialized programs like Medicaid, okay, like let's say like a GAP program, this is going to be a very, very good place for you to go ahead and get leads for cheap than most of the competition out there, and essentially build a steady flow of qualified leads. So when it comes to specialized programs, especially related to, let's say, Medicaid, Facebook is going to be your way to go. Even when it comes to recruiting caregivers, etc., Facebook ads is the way to go. Now, when it comes to long term, and I'm talking, higher ROI long term strategy, this is where doing some type of SEO, which means search engine optimization, it's essentially where you're building your online reputation to start ranking at number 1 on Google. And of course, you can also pair that up with Google My Business optimizations, right? Pretty much ranking your profile, helping your profile rank when it comes to Google showing your business over, especially to people in your local area looking up for home care. Okay, and so this, of course, especially if you're more brand new or your website is more brand new, let's say, you've only been in business, running as an agency for less than a year, it can take you a while to go ahead when you're doing SEO and Google My Business. Assuming it's doing properly right, it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months before you start seeing consistent results. You'll see results before that, but consistent results, we're talking maybe 10 to 20 inquiries a month, depending on how big and how competitive your area is. Definitely, in the long run, this will be the highest ROI because you don't have to pay ads, right? Here you have to pay for the ad cost, of course, to go ahead and run the ads. Here you don't have to, right? It's just labor intensive. Anyway, what both of these will allow you is to go ahead and get more leads consistently, especially when you're landing those referral partnerships. So definitely doing these two, you're going to be able to get a lot more clients a lot quicker. And this is where it's going to take us to the next stage. Now, when it comes to the 50 to 100 client range, okay, the main goal here is converting as many of these leads into paying clients efficiently. Up to this point, you probably have gotten enough clients to go ahead and have referrals already be sending your way from your own clients, from your own employees, as well as you probably have already some referral partnerships already under your belt. Okay. And so what the main focus here is going to make sure that we're converting as many leads into paying clients efficiently. Okay, so a lot of things that I notice here when I do work with home care agencies of this size, typically there's going to be a lot of operational drag, and what that means is things between the office and the caregivers and the owner, things can work sometimes inefficiently. If somebody was supposed to follow up with a certain lead, they might forget to do that. There isn't a proper protocol set in place to make sure that they're following up with leads. And what happens is some of these leads, they just kind of go into the shadows and, never hear from them again. When instead, what we want to be doing is we want to make sure that we stay top of mind. As home care agency owners, you want to stay top of mind to make sure that when they are ready to make a decision, right? Because, of course, sometimes, in this industry, people begin to inquire, but the pain isn't strong enough yet for them to go ahead and make a decision, right? Mom is still doing somewhat well. They're just considering the option in case things go, worse. When that happens, if that happens, and when that happens, right, you want to be the first persons they think of, right? That way, they have a need, they have a pain, you're the first person they want to go to. And so, of course, there's many other different scenarios just like that where you don't want to, there, any lead that does not become a paying client instantly is not a wasted lead. They are a potential client that can be later on converted. This is especially if you're doing, your in-person marketing, you're paying a marketer, or you're doing some type of ads or SEO. This is where you can become more profitable and get the return on your investment, even if it's not necessarily as high as you'd like to now. You will end up getting it later. Okay. And so there's two things again we can do here: time and money. Starting with time, okay, we can go ahead and reduce the owner slash operator involvement in the day-to-day marketing, right? So in this case, you were here doing the referral partnerships, talking to them. In this case, you would at this point you would probably have enough money to go ahead and allocate two personal marketers, okay, to go ahead and do the marketing for you, who probably already have a book and a long history of doing this. They're probably better at you, and that's fine, right? As us owners, we want to be delegating essentially to people who are better at us at doing certain roles. And of course, you want to be training your office staff or hire intake coordinators for follow-ups. Okay, super, super important. One of the most important things you can be here in this specific stage is being as available as possible, right? Pretty much from here on forward, you want to be as available as possible. You want to be the go-to home care agency that, can pretty much take in anybody at any place at any time. Okay. And then, of course, you want to be using technology. You definitely utilizing technology. Not just having things up in the air in the wind. You want a centralized place where people follow certain protocols, and you have certain systems in place in order to not overhire. Right. The worst thing you can do is overhire. Right. When maybe that could be replaced with technology. Okay. So, of course, implementing some type of CRM. Okay. This doesn't mean your EVV, right, or wherever you keep your client records. This means an actual centralized place where you can see where leads at each stage. Are they being followed up with, and having systems in place to make sure that they're being nurtured, right? Meaning, they're little by little warming up until eventually they'll become clients. Okay. And you want to make sure that, you're utilizing technology to make that happen in an automated way. Of course, finally, money. You can go ahead and, again, invest in these in-person marketers to go ahead and get more referral partners. And then, of course, pay for these automated follow-up systems to be installed for you. And so finally, the 100 to 500 client space, if you made it here, congratulations. It definitely is an accomplishment. Now, the goal here, in order to go ahead and essentially, go beyond 500 clients, you want to be able to generate a maximum amount of word of mouth referrals and essentially solidify your market leadership, right? And so there are two main things you want to be you can go ahead and do, especially as an owner, to go ahead and grow the agency further. So Time wise, you want to your focus is going to shift to retention. You want to be making sure that you're keeping as many clients on and you're maximizing the amount of time they spent or the services they eventually upgrade to, right? Instead of through acquisition. So this means you want to focus more internally, right? Because there's only so much marketing you can do to go ahead and start keeping up with the output. What you can do is you can leverage the amount of clients that you do have and install systems, right, and certain processes to, to have your clients or your employees market for you, right? Because they can do much more than you could ever hire, right? And it'll be a lot more cheaper and more efficient. So you want to go ahead and focus on that, right? Keeping them longer, making them worth more. And on top of that, just looking more internally to be able to reach out more externally, if that makes sense. Uh, now, also, next thing, of course, you want to make sure you're training your leadership teams to make sure, again, we went through a lot here of getting rid of operational drag. Okay. You want to make sure that, you're constantly meeting with your leadership team and making sure that, they're hitting their numbers, they're hitting their KPIs, their metrics. And on top of that, you're able to spot any bottleneck up to this point to be able to see, okay, we need to do marketing, we need to do more of this, we need to go ahead and hire for this position, right? You want to pretty much operate at that level. And then of course, implement certain quality control and customer experiences initiatives, right? Making sure at the end of the day, everything here is going to be focused around the customer and keeping them more long term. This means improving the quality of service and improving the overall customer experience. Now, when it comes to the money standpoint, you want to go ahead and build out a formal referral program. Now, I have a separate training on this. So you can go ahead and find it down below, right? Essentially, you want to go ahead and be able to not just passively wait for referrals to come your way, instead take an active approach. And that's exactly, the resource that I've gone ahead and developed. It's a PDF, about 23 pages. You can go ahead and find it down below on the link. And from there, you'll want to go ahead and create this program in order to go ahead and get more word of mouth referrals actively, searching for them. Now, of course, you can also invest in PR, branding, and reputation management. Up to this point, you're going to be pretty much, a big fish in a small pond, right? And that essentially is going to lead me to my next thing or point, which is going to be you want to start considering expanding into new locations or services, whether this is different states, different, or essentially capturing the whole state. Once you've captured the whole state, going to different states, potentially franchising, right? Branching out, because you can get more, there's only a certain amount of clients you can get in just one service area, one state. You want to obviously start going to different areas and capturing more market, right? Capturing more of the market, becoming more of an industry leader. And from there, capturing a bigger chunk of the market. Now, if you found this all valuable, I would appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe, give a like. If you would like to see how we can specifically help your home care agency, there is a link down below as well that you can go ahead and check a quick 8-minute video that demonstrates exactly our step-by-step process on how we help home care agencies. If you also found this useful, I'll also put another link. So I know there's a bunch of links, but I also put another link for you to go ahead and get a copy of this if you'd like to go ahead and use that, for you to go ahead and see what stage you're at and be able to know the next steps you need to take in order to grow your client base. It was lovely going ahead and making this for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.